welcome back. Welcome back. Hello, good morning. All right, welcome back to our ongoing coverage of the men's and women's MoPac Arena Playdowns. This is the men's portion of the Playdowns. We played the women's portion last month, and that's why I said welcome back. This is the opening draw of the men's competition. The feature game between Team Pomeroy of Oval Curling Club of Utah taking on Team Spangler of Wine Country Curling. Looks like Spangler had some rocks in the house early in this end, but Pomeroy has done a pretty good job of cleaning house. As we see Brian Feldman Jr. getting set to throw his rock. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the YouTube chat. I will try to check in when I can. There are two games. Oh, there's a miss there, unfortunately. There are two games on on both sheets. As I mentioned, this first game, the feature game, is Pomeroy versus Spangler. If you tune in on sheet B at bondspealer.com, you'll see a clash between two oval teams. It's going to be Team Malaret taking on Team Gilbert. And it looks like they were just trying to put up a guard. Oh, no, it's maybe the freeze was in play. So it does create a bit of a pocket that looks like Feldman Jr. is going to take on. And I'm going to say Feldman Jr. a lot because there's two Feldmans on the ice. And there's a Feldman off the ice. You can see Feldman Jr. and Feldman Sr. Heading down the ice right now. Looking to get rid of some granite here. They're going to get one as they're going to get two. Just the one. So we are keeping track of scores at bondspealer.com. You can check out bondspealer.com for live scores from both sheets of play. You can check out a schedule of this week's events. Also standings as they happen. We are playing pool play. It sounds like each team is going to get 3 games minimum, and then they'll set the playoff bracket. As Ken Pomeroy, the skip of Team Pomeroy, exchanges fist bumps with his teammates. So it looks like they're going to try and, I think, put the guard back up. This is a situation where Pomeroy would definitely like to force Spangler to a single point in this first of 8 possible ends. Looks like for Team Pomeroy, Paul Tanner is holding the broom. They're sweeping it. Trying to get it over too. It's a little wide. And it's going to did not get all the way back to where they were hoping. Actually, not at all, unfortunately. You can see it's a. You can see Spangler making hustle down the ice. You can see from this overhead shot, over the shoulder shot, that that rock is pretty exposed. So Spangler in this situation would like to try to blank at this point, to not score and carry the hammer advantage to the second end. A common strategy is to control the number of hammers each team has over an 8-end game. Also, you want to try to score multiple points if you have the hammer. Let's see here. Looking for a takeout here. Trying to find the best angle. And that would be it. Takeout accomplished. So we have a full tap of games on draw today. Or strike that opposite. We have a full slate of games on tap of today. Our game times are about 8:30, 12:15, 3, 6:30, and 9:45. So if you want a lot of curling action, you've come to the right place. Pomeroy gets set. I think he's just going to look to hit. A little roll would be nice, but getting rid of that red would be the goal to accomplish. So try to hold the line. I think they wanted to maybe let it go. Oh, they burned it. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we can see what happened there. So try to hold the line. I think they wanted to maybe let it go. Oh, they burned it. Oh my goodness. So looking at the sweep there from Paul's son, Ryan Tanner. It looks like just with that last brush stroke, he nudged it just a little bit. Just an unfortunate miss there. Now the blank is off for Spangler, and they're just looking to score 2, just a draw for 2. So just a bit of bad luck there for Team Pomeroy. Needs to touch paint for 2. One of the easier shots in curling, but sometimes hard to accomplish. But they got it. That's the score of 2 there for Team Spangler. Pomeroy is going to carry the hammer into the second ends. And we will be right back when our coverage continues from the Lake Tahoe Epic Curling Club from State Line, Nevada. And coverage of this tournament is brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. DoubleTakeout.com is actually operated and run by the person on the ice right now, Ken Pomeroy. Throughout the competitive curling season, Pomeroy will update DoubleTakeout.com with the latest stats and information about the top men's and women's and I believe mixed doubles teams from around the world. If you have a favorite team, see how they're ranked with his custom rankings at DoubleTakeout.com.
He gets one of those. It's 14.
And we are back. This is your host, Ryan Olson, with you. It's always good to say who I am. So that was the opening stone from the lead for Team Spangler. That would be Brian Feldman. And now we're going to see the opening rock from Ryan Tanner for Pomeroy. As I mentioned, he's the son of Paul Tanner. Sorry for the jiggle there. We had some Jello jigglers for breakfast, apparently. So the players provided us with some biographical information that I can draw from. However, most of Team Pomeroy did not give me biographical information. So I will be riffing as I can. As you see, Brian Feldman throw his net. So he's been curling for 10 years. He has been to Arena Nationals a couple times. Looks like 5 times. 4 times? 5 times. And this, what happened to that rock? Oh, look, it looks like he was able to draw successfully. So now we're going to see Ryan's next rock. One thing I do know about Ryan and Paul is that they've been curling for about 2 years. They've eagerly embraced the sports, heading to far-flung destinations to engage in the sport. I believe they went to either Australia or New Zealand a couple of years ago. It's really awesome to see how teams and players, newer players, are embracing the game. I know that we have a 5 and under in our MoPac region, and the 5 and under has been popular for quite some time, and it's been reinvigorated with the national championship that was created a couple of years ago for the 5 and under. And it was just announced this week that we are going to be hosting another national qualifier. Okay, so this shot did run the red back onto the blue. It jammed, but got rid of the blue, and the red also rolled out. So MoPac 5 and under is also going to be a national qualifier coming up this February. The tentative plan is to head to the new Curl Vegas facility, which is in our region, but they are not technically a club in our region. So. Fun to explain. This is Paul's first shot, I believe. He wasn't happy with it out of hand. And indeed, it's going to go through the house out of play. So now this is a pretty golden opportunity for Team Spangler as Feldman Jr. gets set. Brian has been curling for 8 years. Some of his appearances include the U18 Nationals in 2019, the U.S. Curling Mixed Doubles Nationals in 2021. This shot, I think they were just looking to put another one in the house, maybe to kind of, I thought they were hoping to maybe cover the shot stone, but it looks like this wanted to go in. Trying to go a bit deep. And both skips helped sweep that stone out of the house. Spangler didn't want it in the back of the house and give Pomeroy something to draw to, and Pomeroy, I'm sure, just didn't want another rock in the house.
20 years overdue.
As we see Paul's next shot. The other kind of fun information I know about the Tanners is that they do curl as a family most of the time, or a great deal of the time, at the Oval Curling Club. That's my home club as well. But I will definitely be as neutral as I can, as that shot also goes a bit deep. So unfortunately, that's another heavy shot from Paul. This is, I think, his first major event. He's been bonspieling, but I don't think he's been to a playdown of this nature before. Also, one of the common characteristics of arena curlers playing on dedicated ice like this is that they might not be used to the speed difference. Arena ice tends to be a smidge slower than dedicated ice, or a lot slower than dedicated ice. And it's the differences between arena ice and dedicated ice are very subtle at times, but it's the same sport, but there can be some interesting variations. As we have Jacob Almaris get set. Going for a hard sweep there, looking to get rid of that shot stone, maybe do a little bit of roll, but not too much roll. And that's going to be too much roll. It's going to roll to the back 12 foot, the outer ring. Looks to be second shot. If the end ended right now, the rock that's closest to the center would get the points, and that looks to be red. The other team gets no points. Feldman Jr.'s last shot of the end, I believe. There's a bit of heat there, sorry. We'll get rid of the blue and stick around, so Spangler is sitting 2 again. Here's Jacob's next rock coming down the way. I said the next game is going to be at about 12. It's going to be 11:45. I spaced on the time apparently. So Jacob threw up a draw, pretty good. It's partially covered. Looks like there's enough for Spangler to take it on. Talking about the weight, he's coming back to take another look at it. And now he's happy, he's headed back down the ice. So looking for a takeout. Spangler gets set. Looks like it is. It's going to be close. Oh, it crashed on the guard. And the shooter rolls away, and the struck guard rolls to the back 12. It could be biting the edge of the sheet. It looks like it is. So Pomeroy is in a situation to possibly generate 2 here if he plays it pretty wisely. That blue is exposed. So one possibility is if you were to draw around the red guard on the left, be sitting 2, then Spangler's just going to probably take out the easier exposed blue stone and be content to give up 2. That does seem to be the scenario in play. So when there's jiggling, the camera stands are on the boards that you can see behind Ken. It's just that they're very, the motion's noticeable. The quality seems fine. It's just kind of, it's noticeable. So looking for a draw, I believe, from Ken Pomeroy. Pomeroy did give us a bio, so I will read from that. Needs to be sitting in the house, needs to be scoring. Looks like it's going to be close. And it is past that red. And it looks like it's settled down in a pretty good position. There is a chance of a double, I believe. And you might hear me say that all weekend long because I think there's always a double available. Even when there's only 1 rock in the house, I think the double's there. So we're going to see if Cameron Spangler has this double, perhaps. This is the last rock without the hammer advantage in the second end. Just a little fishtail there. Feldman was called off. This looks to be close. It's 1. Does he get the second one? It jams. So now, Pomeroy's strategy will pay off. And will be able to generate 2 if they draw this next stone to the 8-foot ring, the white ring. Also, I didn't mention this before, but all times are Pacific Daylight Time. So the last shot, the hammer coming from Ken Pomeroy. Looking to touch the white ring for a second point. It looks pretty close. Sweepers were just walking with it. Now they're digging in. It's there. And after giving up 2 to Spangler in the first end, Pomeroy responds with a deuce of his own. We're all square here at 2. And Spangler has the hammer. When we come back to the 2024 MoPac Arena Men's Playdowns, coming to you live from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. As we get set for the third ends, I've mentioned that we're playing up to 8 ends per draw. Curling is one of the sports where teams can choose to resign early if that's not going their way. It can be a pretty long weekend, although some teams like to play out the string because this is their first time at a major event. I just wanted to get that experience. It's kind of a tricky balance because sometimes teams like the rest. It's, like I said, it's a long weekend. And I will be here for all of it. As well, a lot of people, volunteers. Huge shout out to the ice techs. Definitely appreciate all their hard work in getting the ice set up for this event. Hopefully talk to them about them more later. Brian Feldman throws his first. And that one hogged or picked or burned. There's so many different things that could happen. But they pull the rock out of play. So now this gives Pomeroy an opportunity. And also people that might be curious about what's happening on the other sheets. I am too, so I'm going to go to bondspieler.com and find out what's going on. This draw looking for a guard, it looks like. So that is double centerish guards. I say centerish because they're not touching the center line. And that's important because of the no-tick rule, which is fairly new in competitive curling. The no-tick rule is kind of an enhancement of the 5-rock free guard zone rule. And for people that may not know, the guard zone rule is for the first 5 rocks of an end. Opposing team cannot hit out a guard out of play. If they do, it's a reset. That's a really good draw there. So if the stone is touching the center line, that's where the no-tick rule goes into effect. And the opposing team cannot dislodge that stone off the center line out of play or into the house. If that happens, the non-offending team has the option of deciding what to do, whether to remove the offending rock and reset the guard, or just let it play out. So checking on the scores on sheet B, the Battle of the Ovals, the Roar of the Oblong Rings. This draw goes a bit deep. So the Clash of the Oblong Rings. Looks like Team Gilbert opened up scoring. The defending champions of this event, Team Gilbert, opened up with the 3 spots. And Malera was forced to a single in the second. And the score is currently Gilbert 3, Malera 1. And again, you can keep track of the scores at bondspieler.com. Named after the proprietor, Bondspieler. He's a German, apparently. So Spangler, it looks like they had a really good line and good weight, so they're going to do the same type of shot again. And those guards are not helping out Pomeroy right now. Although they could be called in to help in a moment. He's seen what Spangler has done and wants to get it in on that action, as it were. And is looking to draw around. This is from Paul. Paul's shots have been a little heavy, but let's see if he gets his weight dialed in. There is some backing, so he could have been a little heavy this time, and it would have been okay. In this case, it's going to be... The weight was pretty good. The line was a little tight, it looks like, as it crashes the guard and promotes one of the guards into the top 8 foot, which is the diameter of these rings I keep referring to. So got the broom down to, I believe, try the guard again. Not a guard, sorry, a draw. I'll hopefully be saying this a lot this weekend, but again, thank you to Lake Tahoe Epic Curling for hosting this event. This is a very beautiful facility in State Line, Nevada, just mere feet from Lake Tahoe. I say mere feet. It's I say at least a quarter mile to the lake, but it's really close. And it's a 2-sheet venue. The warm room is cozy and comfortable. And I definitely appreciate the spirit and the generous assistance from the Hazards and everyone else from the club. Definitely always happy to be back here. So this is Jacob's. Next is first. And they're going to try that draw again, especially with so many rocks in the house. It doesn't really behoove Palmer to do any clearing, especially when the 4-foot red ring is wide open. So this came out a little wide. And it will settle into biting the 4-foot. Ideally, they would have drawn around those guards and the rocks in the front of the house. So it does give Spangler a target for Feldman Jr. to aim at. He's called Junior by some people. I don't know if I'll do that. We'll see. Looking for a hit. I think a little roll would be apropos or ideal. This is the weight's good. It looks like it's going to hang on the outside, maybe hit it on the nose, and it does get rid of 2 blues. And now Spangler is sitting 3. And so Pomeroy is going to try the same type of shot, hoping for more of a roll from Jacob. Curling is a fun sport because, you know, as the stone rotates, it curls, so you can get around guards, but you can also carom off of other rocks that are in play, and that's what we're trying to do here. It's also fun to say carom. This needs to curl maybe a smidge more. It's pretty close, but it's just a nose. A nose hit on the nose. Just on the schnoz, but not on the schneid, or schnitzel, or other things that start with schnitt, but not that word. All right, I had to wake up early, guys. So they're going to try the hit and roll again. Let's see if Feldman, this is over curling. Oh, got some interesting ricochet there, or carom. It clears the guards, and so now Pomeroy without the hammer is looking to put the blue in a place where it's going to be hard to get out and force Spangler to maybe just go for 1 point. By clearing those guards, it allows Pomeroy to raise that blue towards the button. And by going to the button, it's going to be very hard for Spangler to hit that blue out because there's those red stones as a backstop in the back of the house. So dramatic shot of Ken directing where the broom is supposed to be positioned. We have 4 cameras on the ice. Definitely appreciate the different views. I definitely want to make sure I'm showing the action. Sometimes I get distracted. I will do my best to be on the ball. But yeah, there's no balls in this game. All right, looking for a raise. I think just looking for back 4-foot weight, really. Slight wobble. Hoping for a little bit more curl. As Ryan jumps on. Now both are. They're worried about the weight. And, now it really curled and not a bad place to end up. So looking at the overhead camera in the warm room, it looks like red is sitting 1 point, and that's the red rock in the back 8 foot on the right. That blue is really close though. It could come down to a measure. As I say repeatedly, the cameras don't lie, but they can't tell the whole story necessarily. So I think they're trying to try a raise of their own. I think that's the shot, because if it over curls, it's not going to really change too much. It could also make the raise harder for Pomeroy. So the port is not wide open, but definitely gives Spangler, I think, a couple more options than a miracle shot. So this looks to be almost back 8 weight, which is, I think, fair because there's backing. Great line. Settles in on the button. That was a great shot there from Cameron Spangler. Let's see it again. So this looks to be almost back 8 weight, which is, I think, fair because there's backing. Great line. Settles in. All right, so Pomeroy's last stone. So as I mentioned before, getting to the button first, it would make it tricky for the other team to remove that stone, and so I think Pomeroy is now facing that tricky situation. Set up for a heavy draw. Looking to raise that blue onto the red. Pomeroy asked for less ice, which is interesting because his first shot over curled at the end, but he might be throwing more weights. He is throwing more weights. Need to hold the line though as Jacob digs in. It's pretty close. Needed to curl like another 2 inches. So Spangler has 1 more rock. He has a chance for 2 if he draws. But it looks like they're looking at different angles to see if they can get more. Okay, so if they chip out that blue stone by going through the same, not quite a port, but that same red raise that he did before, a very similar red race. Okay, he changed his mind. It's early in the game, but if he was able to run the red onto the blue, he would be able to score 3. But I think the angles might not be working out. He's opting for the better bet for 2. Also, if he had a chance for 4, I think he might have been willing to take it on. But if it's just for an extra point 2 instead of 3, 3 instead of 2, I think he just said the math didn't work out. This is the last rock here, coming from Cameron Spangler. So Spangler is playing with 3 today. They do have a 4th on their roster. This looks pretty close. There is a little bit of back. It needs to be full 4 foot. And it's through the gap. It taps the red back slightly, and it's enough for 2. So we're trading deuces here, and Spangler is up 4-2, and we're going to take a brief break. Just to let you guys know, we are going to take about a 5-minute break after the 4th end. I'm going to use it to hydrate and meditate. Contemplate our role in the world. We do have an on-site Yodi. It's a great resource. Well, we do have bears. I haven't seen a bear, but we're all worried about bears. This is why I brought my food inside from my car last night. So, maybe no Yodis, maybe a bear. When we come back to the 2024 MoPac Men's Arena Playdowns, brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. First rock of the 4th end coming from Brian Feldman. So he's been to Arena Nationals several times. His highest finish was bronze in 2018. He also was able to make trips in 4 other years, 16, 17, 19, and 23. Arena Nationals has changed since its original inception. Arena Nationals used to be entirely club-based, and it was almost a sign-up and go. You had one representative from a club, and based on the number of entries, they either let everyone in or they drew names from a hat. This is over curling a smidge. So starting 2 years ago, after COVID, they've changed the formats. A goal to be more, I guess, competitive and more in line with the regional type championships. They've said they want to have regional playdowns. The very first year, there wasn't enough time, so we drew names from a hat to decide who would represent our region. Last year, we organized the first Playdowns for our region for arenas that was hosted at San Francisco in Oakland. And as I mentioned, we had Team Gilbert was the champion. Also, due to the huge interest in arena curling in our region, we were able to send multiple teams, which was I think a great advantage to the region and the teams that were able to go to the event. So this is our second one, and they changed it too. It's not entirely club-based anymore. You can draw members of the team from different clubs within a region now. I don't think anyone in the men's field is doing so this time. although we had one composite team for the women's field. That was a great hit and roll there. Peeks out on the other side though. Spangler might want to take it on. So not going to go for the hits. Going to try and put their red on top of the blue. So there's basic curling strategy for, again, people who may not know. if you want to have, if you have the hammer, you want to try and draw your shots towards the wings of the house. Drawing play to the outside, hopefully it will create more opportunities to score multiple points. If you don't have the hammer and you're playing defense as it were, this is a little bit heavy. But where's it going to end up? It ends up in a really, really good place there. So if you don't have the hammer, you want to try and force the other team to a single point. And to do so, you try to reduce the scoring area. And you do so by controlling the center of the house and the front of the house. So it looks like looking for a bit of maybe a hit. It's really tight. It looks like it's always going for a draw. It is a draw. This looks to be pretty good weight. I think you want to tap that red back if you can. It's corner frozen. So Pomeroy did draw play toward the outside. Spangler is pretty happy with the situation in the center of the house. So he's looking to do some cleanup on the wing, perhaps. Or not. These broadcasts, I really kind of liken it to watching the game in the warm room, talking about possible shots, and then being pleasantly surprised when they do something unanticipated. So it looks like Spangler's looking to put up a guard from Feldman Jr. This looks to be a little heavy again. And this could end up changing the situation a bit. This was heavy. Okay. So it hit the blue, that I think was the second stone. Pushed it to the back 8. So now Spangler has 3 rocks in the rings. 2 of them are counting if the end ended right now. And Pomeroy has 3 and 4. But there's a double setup. Just not going for a double necessarily. Looking for a hit and roll, it looks like, from Paul. This is over curling though. Let me show you. It's close. Okay. So it gets rid of the red shot stone, and now blue is shot. However, it rolled under the red. Not quite corner frozen, looking at the overhead. Well, actually, looking at the overhead, it does look pretty corner frozen. So it looks like Spangler again is going to I thought they were going to draw, but this looks more like a hit. This looks pretty close. Clips it cleanly. The blue goes away, and the shooter does too. So Pomeroy is looking to try to get rid of that red and hopefully not move the blue too much. Going to try and, I think, clip the red on the inside from this view. Needs probably hack to board weights, which is enough energy to get the rock toward the hack where Jacob's pushing out, or the scoreboard in the background. So this looks like it's going to be close. Sweepers are called on. Look at it swing. It just swung right there. And it's actually going to be kind of a not the ideal situation. Not bad though. The shooter rolls wide out of play. The shot stone rolled to the right, still in the house, but not shot any longer. Red is shot right now, and for the fourth stone, while Pomeroy is 2 and 4, let's say. Thank you, everyone tuning in. I hope you are enjoying the broadcast. So I think Feldman Jr. is being asked to draw on top of the blue on the right there. Needs to curl a bit more. This might not come back. Actually, it came back pretty nicely. Hit the blue onto the red. And now Spangler's sitting 2. So Pomeroy is looking to take on that red on the right now. Although he'd have to address the red on the left at some point to transfer multiple points. So Pomeroy is asking for close to peel aways, which is a lot of energy. It's going to be important for Jacob to hit the broom here, to stay on target. He's got the weights. So it's going to get one of the reds. It's the red moving. And one of the blues rolls towards the 4-foot as well. So now Spangler's sitting shots behind the tee line. Looks like Spangler wants to hit that red, sorry, to hit the blue out. Looks like on sheet B, they're now at their 4th end break. Gilbert scored 2 in the 3rd to take a 5-1 lead. I'm not quite sure what the score is after 4. So as the teams are taking their break, I was told that it was a single for Milleret. So it's a 5-2 in favor of Gilbert after 4. So there's a lot of blue in the back there. Moving back to our feature game. And we are to the skip stones. We saw Spangler throw his first. Pomeroy has a hammer. He has 2 chances to set up a multiple point end. Sitting 2nd and 3rd in the back, looking to take on that shot stone. And also the rings would be split. So Spangler would be kind of hard pressed to minimize a multiple point score. Although Spangler could try to do a hit and roll across the house. If, this depends on Pomeroy making his shot. This is a game. You try to think multiple moves ahead. That's why they call it Chinese checkers on ice. It's called chess on ice.
But in this case, Chinese.
Oh, this needs this. Oh. Okay, this worked out fairly well. Although I think they got more of a roll than they were hoping for. Because now all the Pomeroy blues are in the back of the house. But they can't, Spangler can't get rid of them all. I accidentally said Feldman because Feldman often coaches or often skips his own team. So it looks like I think they're just going to try and draw and sit on top of the blue on the right. And then I think maybe be content to give up 2. Let Pomeroy score 2. And again, the 2 duet continues. I'm going to time this because I have a stopwatch. This is Spangler's last here without the hammer. I can't quite see where the hot line was on the delivery side. I got 13-8. And that does look to be about back 8 weight. Just going to tap the blue back. And it's going to be hard for Pomeroy to dislodge it. That was a really good shot there from Spangler. The Spangler red is shot. That was a diabolical shot from Spangler. A word I've never used in curling before. So I think they're just going to draw for 1. This is Ken Pomeroy's last here in the 4th. This weight is coming up a little light, it looks like. 14.25. It's around the guard. Actually, the weight was great. Puts it right on the pin for a single. And that will get Pomeroy another point to come within 1. As we are now in the 4th end break. Brought to you as always by doubletakeout.com. So we're going to take a break and we'll be right back as our coverage continues from the 2024 MoPac Men's Arena Playdowns, coming to you live from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. You want to chat?
Talk about the game.
All right. We're being joined live by the skip of Team Pomeroy, Ken Pomeroy.
Hey, Brian.
How's the game going?
It's been a great game, huh? Hopefully we've been entertaining the people out there. You got to put our point up on that scoreboard, but yeah, there you go. All right, sweet. Yeah, it's been a fun game. A lot of good shots by both teams.
How are you seeing the ice today?
It's great. This ice is awesome. It's so fast, like 15-second ice, and curling. I don't know, 2 to 3 feet. I mean, not as much curl as you get on championship ice that us arena curlers are used to, but it's pretty good. It's a lot of fun to play on.
Yeah, and the first game, like, what was kind of your approach entering this game and the event in general?
Well, we had a little challenge in the first thing because we didn't know who was Vice. So I knew who was Vice, but I guess the team didn't. So that was a little different, but we're coming together really well. I mean, everybody is doing great in their role, and I'm really happy with how the first half of the game went.
Yeah, and your draws have been on tap. I was talking earlier about, like, some draws were a little heavy. Are people still getting used to the ice, especially with the
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly the first two ends. I think we were throwing a few heavy, but we're settling in. I mean, we just never played on ice this fast, so it's just really a challenge to lock in. So that's what this first game is about.
Well, terrific. And I guess what are you looking forward to in the second half?
Just keep trying to throw, get a lot of rocks in play, get some guards up, get rocks in play. Obviously, we're down one without Hammer, so against the number 1 seed, so we got a lot of work to do. So hopefully we can execute that strategy.
All right. Well, thank you so much for letting me get back on the ice.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it.
And that was Ken Pomeroy, the skip of Team Pomeroy from the Oval Curling. He's also the proprietor of DoubleTakeout.com. And I'm going to take a hydration break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our ongoing coverage of the 2024 MoPac Men's Arena Playdowns, brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. Thanks to Ken Pomeroy for his interview during the halftime break. He mentioned something interesting I wanted to highlight. Teams are seeded by their peers. He mentioned that Spangler is the 1 seed. And it's based on how teams, their fellow competitors viewed Spangler. Team Gilbert's is second, so we definitely see the 1-2 teams out early in this tournament. And Spangler and Gilbert are in different pools, so they're not going to face each other unless they were able to make it into the playoffs. So I mentioned there's pool play. There's 2 pools, so 2 pools of 5. So each team will play 4 games. And games are 8 ends. You can see in the clock, kind of on the right-hand side of the screen there, they are timed. You have 30 minutes of thinking time, and that is the time from when you have control of the ice between shots and when you deliver the stone across the tee line on the delivery side. So Palmer put up some two high guards. Spangler drew into the house, and it looks like they might want to draw around those high guards. I started calling them snoop guards because they're pretty high. So the draw is on. So teams have thinking time. There's a minute between ends. And then also teams have an option of calling a timeout, a single timeout during the game. And if they do call a timeout, you have 1 minute timeout. Sometimes there's additional time given if there were coaches, but there are no coaches at this event. So 1 minute timeouts. And then if you run out of time, it varies what happens, but I think the rule here is that you lose. So don't run out of time. And it hasn't been a problem as much as I've seen. I think the women's event last month, we saw time be an issue for 1 game, and that was it. And they still finished on time. Always a great draw around there from Paul. And I talked to Paul during the break. He mentioned that he's been to Arena Nationals before. So this is the second most competitive event that he's been at. So that draw was really successful. So Spangler now wants to take on the guards. He's so far up, he's in the camera view here. As we see Feldman slide towards the broom. Looking to move one of the blues out of the way, and hopefully, just them both moving. And one guard goes away, the other one's to the side and effectively not in play. That was a great shot there. So Pomeroy wants to put up a guard, a tighter guard. And so as we watch these stones, these deliveries, there's 3 elements to keep in mind with delivery. And that's A, B, and C. A is aim or alignment as the curler pushes the rock towards the target. B is the balance. You can see if they come out of the hack balance, that's going to help their line of delivery and their speed. And then C, curl, and that's the release that they put on the stone as they let go. So as you watch the stones go head down the ice, keep in mind A, B, and C. So that guard was not entirely successful. And Spangler's trying to ask Feldman Jr. to take it on. Could be a double.
We're gonna hop in my car since you just had a big ride and then get some food there and head back.
It's going to get 1. Is it going to roll at all? It does roll really nice there from Feldman Jr. That rock's about 60% open, I'd say. So the women's event was last month. Jennifer Aces and her rink from Silicon Valley won the event, and they will be going to Arena Nationals in Wausau, Wisconsin. The event last month was in July. It was the peak of summer. it was pretty warm, not overly hot for most of the day. We're a month later, and the weather is sunny, but it's a bit chilly. It's still 9:48 in the morning. But they have predicted some snow possibly for the Tahoe area, maybe the higher elevations. But it'll be interesting to see if there is going to be any snow. So it looks like that rock hit the blue, I believe. But got rid of the red. There was a red guard there, right? Maybe. Okay, so it did hit the blue. They have the YouTube stream on here in the warm room, so I can watch what happened 30 seconds before. So it hit the blue guard, and then the shooter rolled wide to the right. So I think they're looking to draw. Spangler has a hammer. His weight looks pretty good. I think they're maybe looking to tap it back a little bit more. Got to tap and roll under cover further. And the shooter will roll toward the 8-foot ring on the left. So it looks like Pomeroy wants to maybe hit and roll himself on the right side here as Jacob gets set. So I mentioned that Spangler is the 1 seed. Pomeroy is the 8 seed out of the 10-team field. They're really working to try and push it over. I don't know if it's going to come back. It's a piece. That's all. So we had 10 teams in the men's field. We had 6 in the women's field. The women were able to do a full round robin, and then we had a championship game, which Aces won. So with Spangler is sitting 3 right now. Feldman Jr., I think, is just being asked to kind of close off the draw path to the center of the house.
I don't care about my steps that much. I like seeing the calories.
And that's a decent guard. That's in the house. It does kind of provide some double cover to draw under. Also, Ken discussed during the interview that there was some confusion about who was going to advise, although Ken himself knew. So you have Paul throwing second stones, but he's holding the broom for Pomeroy. So Paul is the vice. Well, Jacob's throwing third. So looking for a draw here. They want to keep it high if they can. Definitely buried. And Pomeroy is saying that they're seeing about 3 feet at curl, but they're giving slightly more than 3 feet. So how I can tell is that the T line, the line that's bisecting the center of the house horizontally from this view, you can treat it like a ruler because based on where that T line crosses each of the rings. The red ring is 4 feet wide, so from the center it's 2 feet out, And then white ring, it's 4 feet from the center. So it looks to be just about 3.5 feet from the center. I'm looking for a draw. I think looking for top button. Looks like he gave it a bit of an ad. Oh, he was going for a hit. Okay. That kind of fooled me. So he's going for the hit because the draw, if you were shot, that's fine. But there's a lot of reds in the house, and so he's trying to reduce giving up multiple points. Unfortunately, that was a miss, though. So he's looking to probably hit and roll, and it stayed out wide. This is going to be a draw to a guard, I believe. Okay, looking for top 12. 2 block that draw pass. This weight's a little high, I think 13.8. And it's going to settle in the back 8. So that would be a bit of a miss. Not bad though, because Spangler's sitting 4. It looks like Palmer wants to try the hit and roll again. The downside of this shot call, there's a couple disadvantages. If it hits on the nose, all Spangler has to do is hit it out, and then they score 4 or more, or score 4 or 3. They have to miss again because his first one missed, and then Spangler has a chance for 5. And then it could hit and roll, and then it could roll too far, and then Spangler has a chance for 4. So this is a tricky shot here. And I think he's going for the hit and roll. We'll find out. This is the last rock for Pomeroy without the hammer here. Okay, so he is drawing now. This could end up in kind of a bit of a no man's land. So he wanted it to be high, but I think it didn't quite go as deep as he was hoping for. And Spangler has a chance to kind of whack that blue on the side and score 5, it looks like. This could really open up the game for Cameron Spangler if he hits it right on just left of center from this view. So huge opportunity for Spangler here. And could be the TSN turning point, as it were, if TSN were here. This is the MoPac moment. Feldman's just kind of watching it. Now he's going on it. Let's see here. Line looks pretty good. Needs to curl like another inch or 2. No, it was there. The shooter will roll wide, out of play. And that may have been the most likely outcome. That was a score of 4, though. Count them up. Spangler will take an 8-3 lead, pending the official posting of the score on the scoreboard. Pomeroy will have some work to do when he comes back, as we will in just a moment from the 2024 MoPac Arena Men's Playdowns, coming to you live from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. We are back to our ongoing coverage of the opening draw of the 2024 MoPac Men's Arena Playdowns, brought to you by doubletakeout.com. That was a great end from Team Spangler, and they've been playing a really solid game, multiple points with the hammer throughout the game. That's what you want. While only conceding a single deuce to Team Pomeroy. Pomeroy has been really kind of fighting to keep the game close, and was just unable to lock it down in that last end. Definitely appreciate everyone tuning in. We have a full weekend of curling action continuing today at 11:45, as the feature game will be Team Stephanie taking on Team Betts. It's a wine country bout at 11:45. The B sheet game will be Team Hernandez taking on Team Barnes. Or Barnes. That's going to be a SoCal clash that's coming up at 11:45 a.m. Pacific time. As UBC Pomeroy put up a corner guard. And that's a really well executed corner guard there from Ryan Tanner. Other games tonight include about 3 p.m., 6:30, and 9:45. And then same times on Saturday as we continue pool play. And then Sunday we have reserved for semifinals and finals action at about 9 and 12:30, depending on how much practice the teams take. The women did the draw shot challenge, which helps push the game time closer to 30 minutes after the start of the draw. So it could be about 8:50 and 12:20. So Spangler, being up 4, has opted to draw into the house again. And it looks like Pomeroy wants to try and draw around that corner guard. So updating the action on the B sheets. Looks like Gilbert, the 2 seed in the event, has added again to their lead with a 3 spot in the 5th end. They are up 8-2. Moving back to our feature sheets, that was a really great hit and roll there from Ryan Tanner. And it looks like Spangler wants to put up a center guard. Maybe pie to the top of the house. This is going to be a little deep. It could set up a double. And it does indeed set up that double. Which brings me to my famous catchphrase, I think the double's there. maybe a little wide. Is it going to come back? It looks like it could come back. Oh, it just breezes past. And that blue needs to be taken out of play. I'm pretty sure that blue is out of play. Oh no, it hit the red in the back. Never mind. I missed that red in the back. So it looks like Spangler wants Feldman Jr. to take out the guard. Mission accomplished. And the shooter will roll to provide partial cover for the Spangler shot stones. So it could set something up for Pomeroy. Because he has one blue on the wing. If he's able to get rid of those Spangler stones, he could be setting with a multiple point end. And he definitely needs 2 or 3, if not more. In curl, you try not to get all the points back all at once, unless you're really lucky. But you gotta definitely start getting multiple points. Pomeroy coming out to help. This is going to be a smidge of light. I'm curious about that call. I would have tried to get rid of those reds now because you already have kind of the ring splits. Now with that blue being short, it's going to be very tricky to move those reds later. Although it definitely seems like it would be possible with some weight. So some more information about Feldman Jr. Or Feldman Jr. to his friends. Does get rid of that blue on the wing. So I'm going to introduce a new phrase. I think the triple's there. I don't know if it's really there or not, but I think if you hit the red on the right and then maybe redirect the blue into the pile of reds, that could change things up a bit. I think Palmer is going for the more direct shots, calling for up weights to run the blue into the pile. And here's the shot coming from Jacob Almaraz. This might be over curling. And yes, unfortunately. It does open up the path to the shot stones. But Spangler's going to try and close that down by putting up a center guard. So Feldman Jr., some of his other events include the MoPac Mixed Playdowns as a runner-up in 2023. Went to Club National Playdowns for MoPac in 2023, was a runner-up. And this is going to be going a little deep again. So I don't think the triple's there. That's my new catchphrase. It's hot. Everyone's talking about it, but I don't think the triple's there. actually see J-Dubs in that stone. Looking to move some granite. Let's see what he's got. This is coming out wide. I think that's what Ken wanted. I think he was hoping to run the red onto the red. So Spangler's sitting 3, with Pomeroy sitting 4 and 5. And it looks like they were looking at maybe getting rid of the blue, and now they're opting to just draw. So last draw, looking for a draw. Not the last draw. This is his first is 2 skip stones from Cameron Spangler. Weight's all there. It looks a little up. Slowing down a pitch or a titch. Okay. Sells into the top 4 foot. I think Ken's going to throw a miss like this. Needs to get some granite flying. I think the triple's there. It's the catchphrase. Phrase that pays. Looking at sheet B, it looks like Team Malloret scored a deuce in the 6th to get 2 back, but Team Gilbert is in cruise control right now, up 8-4. All these scores are being posted to bondspieler.com. Bondspieler.com also has the draw schedule and information about the event. It's all at bondspieler.com. So looking to smack that red that Spangler just threw back into the pile. Get 2 or 3, maybe 4 moving. Need to see some heat coming from Ken Pomeroy. Some heat. This is hanging out. Gets rid of 1 red after jamming on the back blue. So Spangler, I think, is just going to put up a guard. This is a tricky situation for Pomeroy. Well, and this also goes back to earlier in the end, where I thought getting rid of those 2 reds that are still on and around the button, getting rid of those 2 reds would have perhaps minimized the situation. However, I always say that I'm not on the ice. These curlers know the ice conditions, they know their players and the situation more intimately than I. As we will see, Spangler looks like he's going to draw into the house, which is fine. He's got so much backing. This is hanging out though. Did he throw it away? Looks like he may have thrown it away. just based on the rotations. Fascinating. So Pomeroy, to score 1, would need to bite. Actually, it needs to dislodge that red that's on the pin, which is going to be pretty difficult, if not impossible. They looked at maybe hitting the inside of the blue to the right of the pawl, but that wasn't there. So it looks like they're going to, again, throw some heat. We need some ghost pepper heat from Pomeroy. Last rock here, facing 3. Ken's release was interesting to try and keep it online. Just need it 1, and that's all. Steal at 2 for Team Spangler. And they're going to be up 10-3. And that's going to be it for Team Pomeroy as they exchange handshakes. It's the first game, like I said, it's a pretty long weekend, so teams can choose to concede early, and that's what Pomeroy has done. So just as a reminder, our next game is going to be at about 11:45 Pacific time. It's going to be a wine country battle between Team Stephanie and Team Betts. Looks like Sheet B, the oval clash, the clash of the oblong rings. Looks like Gilbert is still up 8-4 in the 7th. So we're going to wind things down because, like I said, it's a long weekend for all of us. But before I sign off, just to remind everyone once again that this event is being brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. DoubleTakeout.com, operated by Ken Pomeroy, offers updated stats and rankings from the top men's, women's, and mixed doubles teams from around the world. That's all at DoubleTakeout.com. So for all of us here at MoPac, DoubleTakeout.com, and Lake Tahoe Epic Curling, this is your host Ryan Olson saying so long, good curling. I'll see you at 11:45 this morning.